Hey,
Hi,
I'm doing good.
did you put it in the Facebook that we were doing this?
Yes, I did. I did say
Good man.
four Eastern ish. So this is
Yeah,
ish.
I like the ish. It works. Uh Fire shit.
Yes, of course. Fire shit.
We wear the shit, you buy the shit. And speaking of wearing the shit, we're doing warm takes, Mike.
Yes.
It's been a long ass time.
Oh yeah. Fuck.
Yeah, this is the thing. We usually have this used to be the one show we like talk movies on, like
Yeah.
no content, like there's no shape to it, just random movies from somebody's letterbox and we talk about it. And that kind of guy replaced a little with great fucking movies.
It did. I
Yeah,
think it
because
did.
it's a similar thing, but in that one, it's all like positive shit.
Yeah.
I like this too. Like, this is the middle of the road. This is not like hot takes or like, everybody does that. It's the one
Yeah.
like, huh, I mean, and there's nobody more warm take ish than our guest today, Schildbach.
I'm not sure if that's an insult or a compliment, but I'm going to take it as
It's
both
eh,
and be simultaneously annoyed and happy.
I mean, exactly. It's very. So, warm takes, episode 8. What do you expect from this today, Lucas?
Um, it's interesting because I feel like I definitely have some stuff that there are movies I don't like that people are going to be like mad at me for, but I also think there's a lot of stuff in there that's just like a lot of the stuff I give bad ratings to they're pretty consistently bad across the board, and there's like one person who might disagree with them. There's a lot of like you knew going into watching this that it was going to be a bad movie.
I do not know if I agree with that, but let's start this shit. And let's start it out with a good one.
All right, let's do this.
Okay. The first thing is the BFG with 1 star.
Yeah. I have Zach Ford's favorite movie of that year, I believe. Yeah, I don't like this movie. I think it looks like trash. Like, it looks pretty terrible. It's also just really uninteresting. I just was so bored by it, and I mean, I think this is just to continue trend. I don't think Spielberg is very good at making kids movies. I just don't think that's his forte. I think he fits as somebody who makes movies for the whole family, but kind of excluding the super young age kids. And I think when he tries to go super young, his movies just kind of suffer. Yeah, it's been like. Also, I'll be honest. I watched this in 2016. I have not seen it since. I have not thought about it since. I don't think I have a particularly detailed take on why I gave it 1 star. I just didn't like it. It's not very good. Like, I was very bored by it as a concept.
This might be the fastest a person gets thrown out of their own call, I think. I mean, I watched the BFG once, so I'm very middle of the road on it too. But I don't know. It's just maybe the original source material wasn't that great. Maybe it's that. I don't fault Spielberg on this one as much. I just feel like I mean, most things you can make a good movie out of, but this story is kind of like, okay. It feels, you know what it feels like? It feels like an old fairy tale that is not really an old fairy tale. Like, I have heard this story 100 times, just slightly different. I don't know. Mike, do you love the BFG?
Okay, so I'll agree with the original source material. I've read this book. I've read the majority of Roald Dahl's books. This one is kind of on the lower end to me. The movie, though, I enjoy the fucking movie. I'm with fucking Zach. Fuck you, Lucas. This movie's so much fucking fun, man. You got first and everything, man. It's a good fucking time. And I got to, and yes, it is made for little kids, which my friends' daughters love the shit out of this movie. You know how I know that? Because I've watched it with them multiple times, okay? They love the shit out of this movie. BFG, great fucking movie.
Well, it didn't get you thrown out. That's a good thing.
Yeah. We'll save that maybe for later. Knowing you is probably going to happen.
Hey,
You
the good
don't
news
like
is I
you
will
don't
stand
like
here and
Spielberg
defend every one of my
children
takes.
kids. You don't like Spielberg child things.
Yeah, I know where this is
Apparently,
going. Just to be clear.
Michael Myers either. 2007's
Okay.
Halloween.
Let's be real for a second. This is not Michael Myers. This is some kind of weird alternate dimension Michael Myers where they fucked it up. This movie it's so pointless because so basically it's twice as long as the original. The second half
Yes.
is just the original, but it's not as good because Rob Zombie is about 1/18 of the filmmaker that John Carpenter is. Jamie Lee Curtis, this girl does not deserve to carry Jamie Lee Curtis's shoes. Like, there's just such a difference. McDowell's fine, but it's like, I don't know why you wanted to make him just be a raging asshole. I mean, it definitely gets worse in the second one. And then the first half of this movie just commits all the sins of remaking a horror classic. No one wants to find out why the character is the way they are. Michael Myers is the shape. He's just evil. He's a kid who picked up a knife and killed somebody. And there's no reason and no explanation, and there's nothing there. There is no humanity. There is no soul. And this movie's like, would you like to watch a story about how he was bullied and his dad was abusive and potentially, like, I don't know, sleeping, abusing the daughter or something? This movie, just that first scene when, like, the breakfast scene, if you like that scene, you'll like the movie. If you don't, you'll be on my corner.
I don't hate it. I actually, obviously.
Well, can we kick Nazari off the show now?
Boom!
Mike, you like this shit too. Come on.
Mike does. I don't think Mike likes it.
Okay. I don't hate it because honestly, I think it's more interesting than most sequels of Halloween. Halloween has a rough story with the sequels, man. I think everything after 4, I don't know, man. 4, 5, 6, awful. 7, alright. 8, awful. So I don't know. It was different, I guess.
Whoa.
So you disregard Daniel Harris, Nazario. Goodbye.
Wait, I just like to go back to a statement you just made. He said it's more interesting than the sequels. I agree it's maybe more competently produced than some of the other sequels. I do not think this is more interesting than Curse or Return or Revenge or even...
I said after 4, 5, 6, and 8. Well, 4,
yeah, I think I don't think this movie is interesting. I think it shows you a bunch of stuff that you didn't need to see, that they cut from the original film, like they never put in the story because you didn't need it. And it's like the classic, like, let's just have like gross, weird sequences, like, because totally we need people raping, mentally insane people. Like, it's so pointless. It's like, why did you, like, it's so stupid. It's like, I get you wanted to do a movie like this, but you didn't add anything to the original. You added stuff to the movie, but it doesn't do anything. Like, you could cut all the Rob Zombie stuff out of this and just do the Rob Zombie, Gus Van Sant Psycho remake, and that would be a better movie than what Zombie actually tried to create.
I do not agree that Psycho remake is better than this. Mike Henley.
No, I'm not saying that.
Halloween?
I'm saying you could do a shot-for-shot Rob Zombie remake of the Carpenter movie, and that would be better than the weird extra shit he added it.
Maybe.
Okay, so a couple things here. One, I do enjoy the viciousness of Michael Myers.
That's fair.
I do enjoy that. I do like me some Danielle Harris. I think she part of the Halloween franchise is always good. And I do like Danny Trejo. And it goes inside with that viciousness of Michael Myers, what happened to Danny Trejo. That being said, yeah, I agree with Lucas that the young Michael Myers part, fuck that. Doesn't need to be a part of this at all. We don't need to fucking know why Michael Myers is who he is. That's what makes Michael Myers who he is just a randomness of why he chose Laurie Strode in the original and what just makes him him. We don't need to understand that he was abused or he was hit. We don't need that shit. That doesn't make Michael Myers. Yeah, other than those things I said, this movie, I agree with Lucas. I wouldn't give it 1.5 because, it's me, but still, Yeah, I agree that this movie, Rob Zombie's edition of Halloween, is pretty fucking.
Ken Foree in the bedroom.
I was gonna say that. That's the one scene in the movie I do enjoy. Ken Foree is great.
Yeah, Ken Foree is great.
Foree.
Yeah.
He gave one star to the Neon Demon.
Yeah, this is not surprising if you know me as a person. I am not the biggest fan of Nicholas Winding Refn. I think Drive is highly overrated. I think Drive is highly overrated. I think it's
wait a minute. Since you're doing that, yeah.
I'm not a Nicholas Winding Refn fan. I like he did Bronson, right? I think that's the two Bronson and Drive I like from him.
Drive is fucking great.
Drive is good. Drive is like this is a thing that this is me versus everyone. I'm at like a 3.5 on that movie. Everyone else is like 4.5 or 5. Neon Demon and Only God Forgives to me are just they're nothing films.
Yeah,
they
Bronson is him.
Yeah, I like Bronson. I don't think they have anything to say, and they're just like style over substance, and I just find myself very bored by both films. I think at least Drive has a story and something it's trying to say, and Bronson is similar. I think Only God Forgives and Neon Demon are just. I will also admit I haven't seen these movies in like 5 years, so like I don't have a super detailed take of them. I just know at the time I was like super bland, don't care about them as films.
I guess I can see that more on Only God Forgives because I feel that one is a lot of style. It's good style though. I enjoy it, but it is what you're saying, like a lot of style over substance. However, the Neon Demon is fucking bonkers. I love that fucking movie. I think it's fucking great. And yes, it's not for everyone. I will give you that much, but like I don't know, what is a movie for everyone?
I mean, it's definitely got its fans. I see every couple of years it comes around, and you're like, wow, somebody has the Neon Demon like 5 stars and like a top 5 in some topic. I don't personally understand that, but I guess that exists.
Yeah, Mike Hanley, what do you think about Nicholas Winding Refn?
Okay, I kind of agree with Lucas to where I don't absolutely love him. Only God Forgives. It definitely isn't a 1 to me. I would give it maybe a 3. I go 3 with that. Neon Demon though, I love me some bad shit crazy. I go 3.5 with that. It's good. Hey Rose. But yeah, I would Drive. I go 4.5. I don't absolutely love it, but I do enjoy the hell out of it. But yeah, I think he's gone a little low. but I get it because he's definitely not for everyone. I do understand that.
Neon Demon, I might be wrong, but I think that one has lesbian vampires.
It sounds possible. I will also admit, my older ratings are, I think, harsher than my newer ratings.
Maybe you have grown softer in your old age.
I think there's just a progression. You can look through my history. If you look through the actual timeline, you can see time periods where I am just brutally hard on films I don't like, and you can see times where I give other stuff a pass. There's also, we're all weird. We all have like our weird things. We're like, I'm like, people have called me out. I am
hard.
I am softer on like
Halloween.
What is this movie? Like, genuinely is a question I have. What is the point of this film? Like, I get the idea. You don't want to remake the original Halloween 2. You do not want to make the same night, basically second part of the same story movie. I get that. I don't know what Rob Zombie wanted to do with this film. It's so weird. And
which version did you watch?
I think I've seen both versions.
Okay.
I've seen the original and I've seen the director's cut. Like, because I've watched it twice. Yeah, I don't understand this. I don't understand what he's going for. I don't understand what the point of it is. I know there are people out there who claim that this is like 5 out of 5, the best Halloween movie. There's a weird cult around this film. I genuinely don't understand that. The first one annoys me in that I think it's such a desecration of a great film. The second one to me is just kind of bad and confusing in the way that like any other slasher, like bad slasher sequel is. I don't I guess biggest take is that I really hate what they did with Loomis in this film. Especially, I think it's the director's
Now
cut
he's
where
an asshole in this one.
the director's cut is the really rough one, I believe, is the one where he gets like he's truly terrible. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a lot of takes on this one. I've seen it twice. I've seen it recently. I genuinely don't know what he's going for, so I have trouble evaluating it because it's so different from anything else in the franchise.
I feel this is his Batman Returns. It's the same thing. It's like when Tim Burton made Batman, he had some restrictions because the studio was not sure what he was going to do with it. After it made all the money, they were like, you know what? We trust you now. You do your thing with the sequel. And he did. I think it's a similar situation with this one, but less successful because Batman Returns is the shit, and this one is not. This one I actually do like because I think I have mixed feelings on it. I think I have it like a 2.5. I don't think it's a piece of shit, but definitely Rob Zombie's hillbilly Michael Myers motherfucker version of the story, and also, yeah, Loomis is a giant asshole, like for no fucking reason. He just fucking went the Hollywood Rock on us from like early 2000s WWE. Also, yeah, wait. The director's cut though. That one thing I wanted to say. I think it's more interesting because the extra footage is good.
Yeah, what is the white horse? I don't. This is his mom wants him to kill people. Like it's the most. Like I guess you give him credit for trying to do something, but also like you failed miserably to make anyone understand what you were trying to do. I also think that I see a lot of people talking about how like this is a great version of PTSD. I don't think this is a good version of like Laurie being somebody who has mental health issues related to the.
Who are these people you talk to, Lucas?
I'm not saying close friends of mine. There is a cult of people who love this film and think that the way it portrays PTSD is really powerful. I just think it's. I think the problem is, you should make a movie where I am on the side of Laurie as the victim from the first film. That shouldn't be hard. Her interaction, she's literally just a jerk in every interaction with any other character in this film, and it's like you can play a mental health problem without having that character just be such a massive turnoff to your audience and to every other character that exists in the narrative. Yeah, this film is weird. Mike, what is the white horse? Is it a unicorn? I don't remember what.
It's like from my understanding of it, because I remember listening to anytime I'll grab these movies, if they have a commentary, I'll fucking listen to them. And he was trying to explain it a little bit. And from my knowledge, I think he was saying that the white horse had to do with part of his humanity in a way. That's what he was going for. And it does not work in that regard. But I will say I enjoy this one better than I do the original Rob Zombie one. I think it's more vicious, especially the director's cut. The director's cut does add.
Is it 2.5, Mike?
2.5. I would probably give it a 3. I'd probably go to 3 with it. I enjoy certain parts. I love the Brad Dourif and Danielle Harris father and daughter aspect.
What happened?
What?
He had his wife on set.
Yeah.
Right? She played the mom.
Oh, yeah.
And she's like, honey, I like horses. She's like, cool. Get this woman a white horse.
I will say Halloween Resurrection is my definitely worst one because goddamn, other than Buster Rhymes, the trick or treat motherfucker, that movie is so fucking insane.
It's so cheap too. It looks
I know Lucas is a guy who really likes sharks, but why do you hate piranhas?
So funny, like me and Mike talked about this. I love Piranha 3D, and I think Piranha 3 Double D is terrible.
This is the John Gulager one, right?
This is the sequel to the Alexander Aja remake.
Yeah.
And this is.
But John Gulager directed this one because he's kind of a hack.
Yeah, this movie is terrible. the first one is like really fun and wacky and weird and plays into the genre. And like Aja, whatever you think of him as a director, is somebody who kind of understands how to have fun with slashers and ridiculous stuff. And this film is just lazy. It's like it's like it's the Cliff Notes version of the first one. It's like, oh, you wanted blood and nudity, and they just throw blood and nudity, but they don't understand why
it is.
It doesn't understand why the first one works, and then they made the second one, and it's just not interesting or fun. Like even like the first one has like 45 different kills, and they're all interesting and unique. Yes, absolutely, you need to watch 2 Double D. Which is of course is that you have to take 3 Double D. You have to get a formatter, change it from 3D to 2D, watch that, then reformat it back to 3D, and then watch 3 Double D. That's the process. Get going. It'll only take you like 24 hours to do all the process. Yeah, this film is just, it's lazy. It's uninteresting. It's not even fun. Like, the first one is just like totally, this is going to be the stupidest, dumbest, most ridiculous stuff.
What is the one where they eat a dick and spit it out?
That's the first one.
That's the first one. Yeah.
That's 3D. That's 3D.
That's Jerry O'Connell, Kangaroo Jackman himself.
And 3D is also a remake of the original Piranha. It's the basic same idea of it. And the sequel is just like, I believe the plot of the sequel is they build a water park and they're cheap on the way they're doing it. So they don't put
just took water from a lake, and the lake has piranhas.
I think they don't put a grate over their water source. So that then in the process of filling the water park for its like opening day, they suck up a bunch of piranhas, and then they just basically kill like 1 billion people. And it's also just like way lower budget, and the first one is actually like a real movie with a real budget and real actors, like, and the second one is very much just like the sci-fi sequel to the first one. Like, you can tell just even the way that it looks. It looks cheap.
Movies directed by John Gulager. Feast, which was one of those Project Greenlight things.
Yeah.
That movie was fine. I never saw the sequels, but he directed Feast 2, Sloppy Seconds, Feast 3, The Happy Finish, Piranha 3DD, Zombie Night, and Children of the Corn Runaway.
God damn.
Mike Hanley, what do you think about Piranha Double D?
This is a valid point. Without bites from piranhas, it is a weirdly ripping shirt. I don't. Maybe it had pre-existing weaknesses in certain spots, but that's the only thing that makes sense.
Now, after a conversation that I had with Lucas on Piranha 3D, I've been meaning to rewatch this one, but from what I remember about it, I fucking hated it. So I still haven't rewatched it, but I'm pretty sure I will agree that it's pretty damn bad.
Fair. No piranhas for you. And apparently not dinosaurs either.
Yeah, this movie's bad. This movie is really, really... I mean, the Jurassic Park franchise starts on such a high note, and at least the first 3 are somewhat interesting. They're clearly the creation of directors who have talent and vision. And then you get to the Jurassic World and the Jurassic World remake, and Jurassic World is stupid and not particularly interesting and kind of goofy. Also, please, I'm so sick of Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt just, I don't know why he decided that his goal in life was to, I don't know why his goal in life was to go from like an interesting character actor to being the most boring generic lead ever.
You know what he feels like in this movie?
Okay.
Like a low rent Brendan Fraser.
Uninteresting Harrison Ford. Sort of what it feels like. This movie, it's just like I don't understand. Well, it also just, it 100% feels like they wanted to bridge the gap between 1 and 3, and they had to do 2, because the only real purpose of this movie is to get you from everyone. Wow, everyone's attacking me. That's fine.
Welcome to Warm Takes.
You guys, are you going to go after me for Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom? Okay. Wow. Everyone in the chat, I have seen more movies than you.
I have more than 9, so it's more than 9. This is one thing I can say about this movie, Lucas.
Go ahead.
Boy, do they really wanted to get off the fucking island. They burn it down. Nobody's ever going back to Isla Nublar. Fucking telling you.
I forgot before my first rewatch that legitimately 2/3 of this movie occurs in one mansion.
Yes.
Like it's not a terrible idea, but it is really weird that they're like, we're going to spend a massive amount of time in our film in a mansion. I also just think it's kind of like a lot of the choices this movie makes are kind of lazy. They're like, we need to get rid of the island, so we're going to go all the way and destroy it. And then it's like, oh, well, the first movie had a crazy, weird fake dinosaur. And in the second movie, we're going to make an even crazier, even weirder looking dinosaur. It's just like, okay. And then at the end, it's
but wait.
Look, we have a giant sea creature out in the world eating people.
This dinosaur, though, Lucas, he peeks under the covers for the little girl. Also, he plays a Looney Tunes joke on the hunter guy, pretending to be asleep.
He really does.
And then he just winks at the camera like, and then fucking eats him. Great. Mike, what do you think about Fallen Kingdom?
Okay, so there's parts of this that I do enjoy. Now, if they would have had the whole movie about the park fucking volcano erupting and the park going out, I think it would have been a fucking great goddamn time. If the entire movie was about them having to try to rescue the dinosaurs off the fucking island and all kinds of crazy shit happens, I think that would have been fun. Now, his original concept of bringing it back to the horror roots and putting it in that mansion and making it more horror, I think was definitely an interesting idea. But the execution definitely lacked with it. And especially when it got into the clone goal. The cloning part. Yeah, that's where it just started going, okay, what the fuck are we doing here? Now, did it set it up to a movie that I really want to fucking, like the sequel that I really want to fucking see, where they're bringing everyone back? Yes. But yeah, this movie definitely lacks what the other ones had. Like, I'll enjoy the first Jurassic World because it's the opening of the fucking park. It's what everyone wanted to see. They fucking did it. I like that. It's fun. Even the senseless killing of the yeah, like I enjoy that shit. It's just fucking hilarious to me.
But, by the way, this guy is really hating on you, man.
It's all right. I'm fine with this.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I mean, it makes me feel better that the person literally could not identify what the movie poster was. So, kind of feeling good over here.
J.A. Bayona made so many fucking interesting movies. He made The Impossible. He made The Impossible. He made The Orphanage. He made fucking A Monster Calls. And then he just does this. Weird choice. The next one is the Lion King remake.
Wow.
1.5. I mean, fair.
Do I have to defend this?
No. Actually, let's move on.
I mean, it's a warm take. That movie is terrible. It's like, it's super weird looking.
Yeah. You know, the next one you will have to defend, though.
I will have to defend this one, I know.
Fucking
goodbye, Lucas. You son of a bitch.
Shortest episode of Warm Takes ever.
Wow, I just came back.
Go ahead, defend yourself, sir.
I mean, so I 100% acknowledge that I am probably in a minority of people. I'm not alone on that island. I don't like this movie. I think it's a mess. I don't think there's a clear goal in mind. I don't think he knows what he wants to do with the story. And this, again, falls into the trap that I don't think Spielberg is good at making kid stories. I think he does his best when he is either doing adaptations of adult books or dealing with real-life stories.
It's too much. It's too much. Keep going.
I also will just admit, I didn't watch this as a kid. So my first experience of this was as an adult. My parents don't care about this movie, so I didn't ever watch it until I was an adult. And I think that it is real hard to evaluate my take on this film as an adult versus everybody else's takes on this film that started when they were like 5 or 6. So I will acknowledge that there's a completely possible chance that I would like this movie a lot more if I had watched this for the first time as a kid, like my take might be different. Yes, absolutely great point. I also, be honest, I think E.T. is pretty overrated in the oeuvre of Spielberg. I like a lot of
Overrated my ass. Fuck you.
God damn it, man! This guy. Do you know what show you're on, dude? Mike Hall is here.
Hey, Mike and me agree on a lot of Spielberg movies. I like a lot of Spielberg movies. I like E.T. I just don't think. I think a lot of people have E.T. top 5 Spielberg, and for me, it's like mid-teens. That's just my take.
I have top 3, bastard. You fucking bastard.
Mike knows this.
Yes.
He has better movies. I like Hook, but there are a couple of things that kind of throw me out of it a little bit. One is the fucking baseball scene, because why? And Run Home Jack is really stupid. The kid who plays the Jack was better in Dick Tracy. Also, fucking horny Tinkerbell, man. Why? Why?
Horny Tinkerbell. Wow. I thought about it like that. I will get the exact rating.
Why are we all wrong?
This is the best interpretation of Captain Hook ever. Dustin Hoffman is the shit. Bob Hoskins as
very
Shmee
puppish, and I
is
love
the
it.
shit. Fucking this entire story is a fucking storybook come to life in the greatest of ways. It's so fucking dark. It has a suicide sequence where Captain Hook wants to kill himself, and Bob Hoskins is trying to stop him, but then he doesn't want him to stop him. And then right before he's about to shoot himself, he pulls the gun. And he goes, "Don't ever scare me like that again."
Stop me. Stop me.
Yeah, this movie's a fucking great time. I will take horny Tinkerbell every day of the week. Fuck you guys.
It's clearly Mike's costume for Halloween.
5 stars. I tried to do that costume at one point. I just couldn't fucking find it. I looked for that motherfucker.
By the way, Bart, I looked it up. My take on E.T. is 20th on my Spielberg ranking.
God
fair.
Spielberg has like 26 good movies. Like,
okay, you can stay on the call for that. 26. I like that number.
I think it actually might be higher.
We're skipping Batman Forever
26.
because reasons, and actually that movie is fine. It was not even peak Schumacher yet, so I get it. Okay, the next one, actually, some people might consider a hot take, not a really warm one, but I just really wanted to ask you, man, why?
Yeah. I will admit, this has been a really long time since I've seen this, so I don't have a ton of details. I just remember
the tongue rings, like the tongue ring. That's what.
No, I think this movie thinks it's. My remembrance of my opinion at the time was just. This movie thinks it's a lot more insightful and interesting than it actually is. I was very bored by this film. Like I just did not understand why. Like I know this film is commonly considered quite good. It was just a film that complete swing and a miss for me. And I don't honestly, because it's been so long, don't have anything deeper about that. You've unfortunately picked a lot of stuff that has been a while outside of the Halloween films since I've watched. I believe if we go back and look, yeah, I logged this in 2017 or something, the only time. So, yeah, it was not a fan.
I remember when I watched this for the first time, and I actually really liked it. I thought since the beginning that Evan Rachel Wood was going to be a great actress, and she has been. She just picks weird role and makes weird decisions in life. But other than that, she's a really good actress. And Nikki Reed, I was like, wow, this is going to open a lot of doors for her. And then she made the Twilight Saga, and nobody gave a shit again about her, which is pretty sad. Mike, what do you think about 13 at 1.5?
I think it's a pretty good fucking movie. I enjoy it, but I understand people being bored by it because it's one of those stories that either you're in it all the way or you just don't give a fuck about these two girls and their journey, because it's one of those stories that gets into very dark subjects and does it in a very weird way. I want to say I haven't seen it in a while, but from my remembrance, the way they handle certain situations is kind of weird, but I'm into it. Pretty good fucking movie.
I still think 1.5 is weird.
I think you should watch it, Rose.
We also should acknowledge that I think I just grade harsher than the two of you do. I think that's just like it's consistent because like I feel like we have these discussions. I mean, a movie comes up and we have very similar thoughts when we talk about them. But my negative thoughts turn into 1.5 stars, and your guys' negative thoughts turn to 2.5 and 3 stars.
Your negative thoughts about to kick you off the fucking call right now.
Yeah,
this one I can talk about.
Let's see how far you talk about it. Boom, 1.5. Fuck you, fucking motherfucker.
You took out the movie. No, look.
I took him out. Damn it.
Here we go.
There we go. No slander of Kurt Russell here. You're fucking kidding me right now.
I will say this: the
it's
appeal
been
of this movie
5 times already. I'm gonna keep count of how many times it takes us.
I will say for the record, the appeal of this movie is Kurt Russell. Kurt Russell is the only reason you would watch this movie ever. Because the rest of the movie is kind of trash. I did a bunch of. I watched a ton of Christmas movies for last Christmas. It's just not very interesting. Like I don't.
That's how I look at it.
My problem with this movie is I feel like their entire pitch meeting for creating it was Kurt Russell is Santa Claus, and then they never thought about the next step of the film. And like I like Kurt Russell playing Santa Claus, but that's not a full movie. That's a skit from like SNL. Like I would like the shorter version of this. It just doesn't feel like there's a full movie in there. And I was just, the sequel might, I think it's a little bit better maybe, but neither of them are that great. It just like, I don't know. It felt very gimmicky, and like the entire point was Kurt Russell as Santa Claus, which like certain people, Mike Hanley included, that's all Mike Hanley needs. Mike Hanley's like, perfect Christmas movie, Kurt Russell Santa Claus. And I was
right. The jail is pretty fun.
And I was like, yeah,
very fun.
There's fun stuff with Kurt Russell. The rest of the film really, 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 really drag. I mean, yeah. I mean, honestly, it doesn't have to be shorter. I would just need them to get me invested in the story beyond Kurt Russell as Santa Claus. I don't like the kids. I don't care about. Like it kind of struggles because this is the problem happens a lot is that you have a very good adult actor and then you cast kids and you're maybe not the highest budget movie, so you don't get the really good kid actors, and so you're stuck kind of dealing with kids who are not very good, and you find yourself bored. Yeah, just it's also not. It's not really my type of Christmas movie to begin with.
Who are the really good kid actors? I mean, Haley Joel Osment is old as fuck now.
No, but there are talented kid actors.
And Fanning too.
Wait, what's the kid in Ford v Ferrari? That kid's talented.
Mike Hanley. Why is he wrong?
Well, he said the number one thing. It is Kurt Russell as Santa Claus. So automatically it's 5 out of 5. But beyond that, the ornament, the whole point of the ornament, I fucking love. The kids, do I think are amazing? No. But do I think they're fucking passable? Yes. For this type of story, I think they're passable. I think the story in general keeps you fucking involved. And having Kurt Russell be not like the nicest Santa Claus in the world, but kind of a dickhead at the same time is fucking glorious. I would take that all day. All we need to do is add an eye patch to him, and goddamn, it's the greatest Christmas movie ever made. So Lucas is wrong. And the sequel, I will admit, the sequel I enjoy a bit better.
Good shit.
Also, I'm not gonna be like, it struggles when you watch a bunch of Christmas movies at the same time. It may also just get digged a little more because it stands out as not being on the top tier of Christmas movies. So
I agree, Rose.
Potentially, if I watched it not around a bunch of the Christmas movies, maybe slightly different.
Fair.
Okay. 40 minutes in, and we only have a third of the movie, so it's gonna be great.
Well, and guess what? I've pissed you both off royally.
Actually, you don't piss me off with this one. This movie's shit. So good pick then.
Fair.
Why the fuck is this nominated for Best Picture? Somebody tell me.
It's one of the it's one of like the 3 or 4 worst films in the last like 10 years nominated for Best Picture. This feels like 100% the product of they just campaigned really, really hard, and they were like, campaign 9/11, campaign 9/11. Like that just feels like the entire. I watched this so long ago. I don't have any big takes on it beyond that it's just it's uninteresting. It's lazy.
Did you watch this for
Fine.
the Tom Hanks
No.
month you guys were doing?
No, I'd watched this like years ago. This has been so long. It was like probably to catch up with that Oscar year, like a while ago. Yeah. Nothing
Mike
deep
Hamlin,
thoughts.
what do you think
Okay.
about Extremely Loud and Incredibly Shitty?
When I first got wind of this movie, I heard Tom Hanks was in it, so I went, okay, I'll give it a shot because Tom Hanks is usually good in most things. And yeah, it ended right there. I watched the movie and goddamn, why the fuck did I watch this movie?
The movie is very, very. I really hated that movie, and
makes
the fact that it got so many fucking buzz made me hate it even more. Okay, you didn't like Piranha 3D, but how about Piranha 2? James Cameron directorial debut.
That's correct. Yes, I watched this in relation to a James Cameron marathon. Sometimes you watch first movies and you're like, yes, this makes sense that this is the director who would go and do this other stuff. And then sometimes you watch Piranha 2 and are like, yeah, I don't think James Cameron directed a ton of this movie. So you basically make the first Piranha, and then the second one they're like, okay, well, we did the Piranhas, so let's make the Piranhas fly, which is in theory cool, but it's like the 1980s. They can't really pull off that effect, so it's not anywhere near as cool as they want it to be. And this movie is basically just a movie where people randomly swim underwater and then strip naked and get attacked by piranhas. Like that's literally happens like several times throughout the film, where characters will be like scuba diving and then decide we should take off all our clothes and our scuba gear and try to fuck, and then they get attacked by piranhas. And it's a really bizarre choice, and it just makes you. It's like
that is like all the 80s, man. Like
but it
everything
tries
in the
to-
80s
but it-
was get on the lake to fuck.
but it
That's the
tries to-
80s.
but it tries to play it seriously, like this is like an intelligent thing you would do, or like, man, it's so tragic that these people who are acting like complete morons would like get killed, but like you just don't care. And it's and yeah, I mean, going back to the biggest problem is if you have a bunch of flying piranhas but you don't have the effects to do that in a way that's awesome and cool, your movie is just not that interesting.
Jason Voorhees is standing outside the lake waiting for the fucking piranhas to be done with their ass. Okay, did you know the story that James Cameron told about this? He
No.
wanted to direct the movie like a James Cameron movie, which means a lot of takes, a lot of budget, a lot of weird ass shit idea. He actually got fired like 75%
He
into
did.
filming.
Not
He
surprised
did
by
not
this.
finish the movie, but he was so obsessed with the fact that it was his movie because he still got credit for it, because he made so much of the movie that he couldn't get an Alan Smithy one. So he was obsessed with it, but they fired him. So what he did is he snuck back in every night to re-edit stuff that they were filming. It got so bad that they actually had to call the police on his ass. And one night he tried to sneak back in, and the police were waiting for him. Trespass.
Wow.
Great fucking story.
I'm gonna say, guarantee I would watch that version of Piranha 2 of just the whole movie is James Cameron trying to sneak back in to re-edit his movie more than I would rewatch this movie ever again. I watched this when I was in high school and it was fucking
I actually
terrible.
want that movie. I want the
I want
movie
that movie. I
of
want
James
that
Cameron getting sneak editing. Good.
Would be interesting.
Some people like clowns,
Oh yeah, I know this is going.
and you don't.
It Chapter 2 is boring as shit. It Chapter 1 is fun. It's interesting. Chapter 2 is so long and
This is the one with
uninteresting.
the animated kids, right?
Yeah. Because the Stranger Things kids are too old at this point, so they had to do the face recognition crap and young them down.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, it's such a. I don't know what they were going for. I mean, I'm not really familiar with the source material, so maybe this is just kind of the way the story had to be. But I get the idea of bringing everybody back, but the movie is just so uninteresting, and it feels like it never. Like they don't feel like they have the same chemistry or anything going on from the first movie. The first movie feels like you understand why the kids are together and why they're fighting back against this thing. And in the second one, it's like they have to be back together, but like they don't. I don't know. It's boring. I was uninterested. You cast a lot of really talented people, and I don't think any of them are particularly good in the film, which is kind of it's like the first movie you cast a bunch of kid actors who are talented, but like, you know, potentially could have but potentially could like really blow it. And the second one, you're like, you cast like a bunch of talented people, and then it feels like everybody's just kind of phoning it in, or the script was not where it needed to be. Correct me if I'm wrong. The first movie is written by Terry Joe Fukunaga, right? And this one is not.
I want to say like he rewrote some of the parts, including the whole orgy sequence that was supposed to be in that one, which is why he got fired for it. But yeah, for the most part, I believe it is. The first one is written by him, and the second one isn't.
The first one, Chase Palmer, Cary Fukunaga, Gary Doberman. The second one,
and I believe it's the same director for both movies.
Gary Doberman by himself.
Yeah, I think whatever we want to say about him as Cary Fukunaga is a pretty good screenwriter, and I think it might be the biggest difference between the first and second one. The first one, it just feels like it works better, and the second one feels like there's just so much stuff they threw into it, and they maybe should have been more selective in all the pieces they chose to include.
So wait, there was supposed to be an orgy in this one. The guy cut it out of
in the first one. In the first one, there's basically in the book. This is a Stephen King book. When Beverly gets attacked, the way they are able to overcome it is that they have an orgy with each other, and they're able to gain power with each other, and that's how they defeat it. It is very fucking
The kids have
the kids.
That's fucking Stephen King, man. Yeah. Dang.
Yeah, and Cary Fukunaga was very adamant about that scene. And that's why they fired his fucking ass. Because he goes, I will not do this movie if I cannot do that scene. Which is very weird.
Also, Bill Hader is gay in this one. I think. Okay.
I don't remember that much details. This movie is one of those movies you just forget about the minute you finish watching it.
You know what movie is very, very meh?
Which one?
This one. So I agree with 2 stars.
I agree, Rose. Why did no one question him? Which I don't remember if they did at the time.
Now, this is high as fuck. Have you not seen this night? Well, you have.
They did a fucking commentary on it.
Yeah. There's really get ready for hot take corner. There's really not that much difference between the original Justice League from 2017 and the new version.
It's 2 hours longer.
It's not 2 hours of needed material. That's all I'm gonna say. Honestly, I like. There are definitely things about a lot of people are super negative on the Whedon version and super positive on the Snyder version, and I'm kind of middling on both. There are definitely there's definitely things that Whedon does that I prefer to the stuff. I think he has a much better color palette. I think he has a way better color palette. I think it looks like a real world. There's like colors and light, and there's no gray. I don't know who hurt Snyder and made him believe that gray was the only color that should be allowed in movies. There's definitely terrible things in this film. All the stupid. Sorry, when we have very different takes. There's like been several shows where we've already. Yes, there's definitely some terrible stuff.
I'm just gonna ask you for something. Tell me one thing other than technicalities. One thing on the page, on the screen, that is better than the Snyder Cut in this one. No color shit. Like one scene. Not a scene.
Exactly. Well, the problem is that the color thing means a lot because so many of the scenes in the Snyder Cut are just decolorized longer versions of the scenes in the Whedon movie. Like the opening scene in the courthouse is literally just in the Snyder Cut, it's literally just a grayed version that's longer and has more of the like in between scenes. I'm not 2 stars. I'm not saying this movie is great. I'm saying that there's stuff I can watch this. It's not good.
No, Garth, no. In the other one, the Flash turns back time. Yes, that's more significant than saving some fucking family.
I will say the ending of the Snyder Cut ending, the choice, the battle sequence is definitely better. I mean, part of the Whedon's problem is that he's given the Whedon version. I can't blame him too much for this movie. I can't blame him too much for this movie because it's so clear that like he did not have as much control as he's like. I think he wants to make a lighter, more Avengers type movie, and it sticks out like a sore thumb in the universe. But this movie's not.
Hey, remember he added a scene with Batman, and then like 3 days later he's finding Aquaman with a full ass beard, and then the next scene he's shaving because he has to be Batman again. That made sense.
I mean, do we really want to play this game with your 4-hour cut of a movie that ignores movies that came out 2 years earlier in the continuity?
Yes.
I mean,
Mike Hanley, which one is better?
It's like a fucking Icelandic song while people walk into the ocean. I don't know.
I love Icelandic music. Bjork is beautiful. Mike Hanley.
But listen to Bjork. Stop putting in the damn movie.
Mike Hanley, tell me what version is better?
The Zack Snyder version is better, but not by much.
That's where I am.
It's like Justice League movie is a fucking movie. The Zack Snyder movie is a good fucking movie.
You guys do not appreciate art.
And we should just all watch Aquaman because that's great. I am the world's largest Aquaman.
What about this shit? This shit is worse than 2 stars. Why you gave it 2 stars?
I probably am being too kind here, if we're being honest. This movie's trash. Now
we're talking.
I'm genuinely so confused by people's love for this movie. Like, I genuinely think to love this movie, you have to ignore all the really blatant problems with it. The first problem being, you took a human being in P.T. Barnum, who's a piece of shit, and then you made a movie where you're like, look, he loves all the people with differences, and I'm like, no, he doesn't. He wants to exploit them in the film. You literally ignore the main point of your own film while making a claim. And then there's like dumbass shit like she's an opera singer, but she doesn't sing opera music. Like she sings a pop ballad, not an opera song. And it's like, are people stupid? Like there's a lot of people who like love this movie and think it's amazing. And I am just.
Hey, remember when Hugh Jackman said he was gonna like do a live tour singing shit and then COVID happens?
Honestly, I would rather watch a full version of Springtime for Hitler than watch. I
think it was a message. I think God sent him a message. Like, let it die, man. Stay in your house.
This movie is just like it's like a constant contradiction. It's like it doesn't make any sense. They're just like we're gonna say stuff that doesn't get backed up.
You know what I thought? The one scene I thought like, wow, this movie is really fucking stupid. It's like they're doing like a ball thing to celebrate the success of P.T. Barnum, and then don't let the fucking freaks in. And they are like, well, we're gonna sing a song and walk in anyway.
I will give you a pass. That makes sense in that respect. Because at least you learned, like you heard what the story was, and then you thought about it. Like there are people out there who literally claim this movie is like a 5-star movie, and I'm like, I mean,
even after they've heard who he truly is,
you're just that's the crazy, or like I don't know, at least acknowledge that. Like, don't pretend that there are people who are like, I don't understand why anyone hates this movie. I'm like, I don't know, like fucking obvious reasons. Like it's one of these movies that you don't have an excuse. You have to acknowledge the problems with it if you say you love this film. Like there are certain movies that you can love, but you just have to acknowledge that there's a problem.
They didn't let the freaks in the party, Lucas. And they sing, and then they go inside anyway, and no one stops them. And then the scene just ends.
With the power of music.
We are one.
Yeah.
And the scene ends.
I'm also just really harsh on musicals. I'll admit that.
Mike, why is this your favorite movie?
God damn it. I'm not a big musical fan, as you guys know. And this one, once I heard it was P.T. Barnum, I already knew the stories about him, and I went, yeah, I'm already turned off by this movie. I did watch it when it hit, DVD and Blu-ray, and yeah, there was really nothing that I really cared for, because the fact of the matter is there good acting? Yes. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just the story behind him I can't get past, and the songs, I think are okay. I just didn't really love any of the songs. Yes, the Reboot Genetic Opera, which we did. It came from the video store. Badass movie.
Is the video store now shit talking bar in the comments?
Yes.
Yes.
All the time.
Yikes! Yeah, I'm not surprised though.
I think that is the only one that you can find on YouTube. You can look for Repo, the Genetic Opera. It came from the video store. On YouTube, it's the full fucking video. It's the only one that didn't get fucking flagged.
YouTube doesn't give a fuck about Reboot the Genetic Opera. So we'll let you have it.
Jim Jarmusch tried his hand at a zombie movie. I put this here because Mike Hanley probably watched it, because I haven't. But I cannot believe Jim Jarmusch made a 2-star movie with fucking Bill Murray and zombies.
Yeah, I'm sad. I'm sad about this because I remember seeing the trailers and like I was really interested in Bill Murray and Adam Driver doing a zombie movie.
Don't lie to me, Bar.
It's just not interesting. Like they just, I genuinely like forgot a lot of the details after this game. I just remember watching this movie and I just kept waiting for there to be a point. And I like Jarmusch. I was just so uninterested by this entire film and like really disappointed too, because I think it genuinely was a movie I was really looking forward to. It was probably on my top 20 most anticipated, and I was just bored. You just kept waiting for something to happen that would make it work, and then it just ended. And it felt like they never got going. They never clearly gave us a reason to pay attention. If you're gonna watch Jarmusch and Driver, just watch Patterson, because Patterson is wonderful.
I like Broken Flowers. Mike, do you like this one?
Yeah, see, I get what Lucas is saying, and this movie is definitely not for everyone. I enjoyed this fucking movie. Well, I have only seen it once, though, so I do need to rewatch it. But when I saw it, I really enjoyed it. But yes, the better version of Bill Murray with zombies is Zombieland, 100%. But yeah, I enjoyed this movie.
Okay. Lucas doesn't like zombies. And apparently, he doesn't like Krispy Kreme either. I like this movie, but I'm just going to say up front, I never was a big Power Rangers guy at the beginning, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I thought, wow, this is really stupid. And then, for some fucking reason, I just kept watching. And the moment that they decided trying to make everything make sense, because the original footage doesn't make sense, like the original Japanese thing, every year they made a new shit. Like every year was new people, new powers, and the Americans decided, no, that doesn't make sense, we have to keep continuity. It kind of killed it for me. But when they stopped doing that and they just started doing the random shit, I thought it was a better thing. So I kind of really like this thing too. I don't know. I like Power Rangers, and I like fucking Bryan Cranston, because he was one of the monsters in the Reno show, so they brought him to be, what is fucking his name? Sorg? Is it Sorg?
Zordon.
Zordon. It's Zordon. Why do you hate it?
Honestly, my take on this is very simple. I don't care about the Power Rangers, so for me, this is just any other movie. I think a lot of the people who ended up liking this had at least some connection to the universe. I think Elizabeth Banks is pretty terrible in it. I like Dacre Montgomery and RJ Cyler. I think what's her name? Becky G is just awful. Like there's levels to like acting, and some people are not. I don't know. I legitimately didn't like Naomi Scott in this, but I think she's like good in the Aladdin version. I don't know. I think this one to me is just one where it's like I watched it like it was any other movie. I didn't come in with any pre-existing connection. So a lot of the people that seem to like it a lot have like a real Power Rangers thing. So I mean, it makes sense on that level. For me, it was just a pretty bland, not super interesting origin story of a superhero team.
I did find very funny when Becky G is trying to tell her mother, like, yeah, we got powers and we morph and we got thing, and the mom just like grabs a fucking cup, like, pee on the cup. That was kind of great. Also, yeah, Elizabeth Banks is not a good Rita Repulsa, and I really kind of hate what they did with Goldar. I mean, I know his name sounds like gold, and he was a lion that had a golden armor. But that doesn't fucking mean that you have to make a giant thing out of gold and call it Goldar. That's stupid. Other than that, though, I like the darker turn. I like the fact that it was a very racially diverse cast, like the original one, just mixing up here and there. And I actually still would like to have my Tommy sequel with the green one. So, Mike, how do you feel about Power Rangers?
See, I grew up with the original Power Rangers show, which I enjoyed. This one I did not, and I'm actually on the opposite of Garth. I hated the whole Breakfast Club. Let's all come together during detention shit. No, fuck that shit. Like, I understand them changing the origin of how the Power Rangers come together and shit like that, but I just didn't like the approach they took. The whole we need to make shit darker to be better. You don't fucking need that for everything. You fucking don't need a Zack Snyder everything, man. You don't need to make everything darker to be better. You could still have fucking fun with it and have a good time. Like, they turn into Power Rangers at the end. Yeah, it's all right, but the whole battle with Gordor is kind of stupid. The acting is there. I like the majority of actors in it. But other than that, yeah, the story.
I like the guy who plays Billy a lot, and I like Naomi Scott. I thought she was fine.
Isn't like the better version? Isn't the better version of this movie just Shazam? Like that's
Fair.
like the same. It's just fun. Like I do genuinely like. I think people think that you have to go darker, but like if you do a Batman movie, sure, because he's a dark character. But
Yeah.
you have a bunch of fucking brightly colored kids becoming superheroes. I don't know. Maybe your goal should be Guardians of the Galaxy, not be Man of Steel. I don't know. Like if they be the fun movie.
Just if they would have done the Guardians of the Galaxy version of Power Rangers, I'm fucking there for that.
Yeah, I feel like that's more fun. And also just like for a general audience who doesn't even care about Power Rangers, I think a fun, like, look at these 5, Breakfast Club meets Guardians of the Galaxy is like at least an interesting idea.
For our next movie.
Let's keep beating me up.
I think Tim Bracala maybe disagree with you. Ted 2.
Yeah, okay. Yep. I saw this in theaters. I was the only person in the theater. I really like the first one. The first one's funny.
Yeah, it is.
Siegfried is a massive step down from Kunis, at least in the concept of the movie.
Yeah.
Kunis is kind of sharp. Yeah. She's witty. She can fight back. She's snarky. She kind of fits with the tone. And the problem with this movie is just the first movie is like a guy has a teddy bear and it grows up to be an adult and it's a foul-mouthed Boston teddy bear. And it's like that's kind of the entire joke. Yeah. And they do some like funny bits on the side, but there's nothing super complicated or deep. With the second one, they're like, okay, here's what we want to do. He wants to have a baby, but he can't get a baby or sperm because he's not a person, and then we have to go to court. And it just makes it way too complicated. It's like the classic like problem with comedy sequels where it's like the first movie is just like a fun hang, and the second movie is like, let's make this 19 times more complicated. And it's just significantly less funny. I watched this originally in theaters. I rewatched it last year when I was rewatching a bunch of 2000s and 2010s comedies. Still, it got a little bit better. It still doesn't work. And honestly, the original Ted over time, the more you watch it, becomes less funny. So like, this is just. Yep, I agree 100%. They did not need to make the second movie. There is utterly no point. Nobody needed the second movie. The first movie would have been fine as a spin-off, as a single movie, and then I think probably what they ended up doing was they made the first one as a single movie, and it came out and they were like, "Wow, that was like 4 times more successful than we thought it was going to be," and so they were like, "I want to make the second one." Hell yeah, Paddington 2, all-time great movie.
I have never seen a Paddington movie in my life.
This is weird. That is such a weird choice, dude. You gotta watch fucking Paddington.
It wasn't in theaters here. None of them came to theaters here, and none of them are streaming. What do you want me to do? Pay for it?
You have your means.
Yes, I have means. That's true. That too. Yeah, though, why is Mila Kunis not in this? Like, does it have like a real life reason?
No, I think it was exactly. I think it was she was doing something else, or she just didn't want to do it.
Well, was she doing that fucking Jupiter Ascending piece of shit or what?
Honestly, Jupiter Ascending is more interesting than this one.
Fair. Okay. I still think it's funny. Yes, it does not need courtroom drama bullshit, but it has.
Honestly, Friends with Benefits is fun.
Yeah.
It's a fun movie. It's not brilliant, but it's fun, and they have good chemistry. I like watching that film.
Which one is Friends with Benefits? The one with Natalie
Timberlake
Portman or the one with Mila Kunis?
Timberlake and Kunis.
Yeah, that's fun. I like that one. The other one, No Strings Attached. That's boring.
And Ted 2, like, I agree with Lucas 100% that they did not need a sequel. It's a cash grab all the way. This couple funny bits in it, but other than that, it's unneeded.
Tom Brady's in it,
One's,
so I thought you would fucking like it.
That's the one, but that's like that was a clip that was released as promotion for the film.
Yes.
That's the funniest part of the entire movie. You can always. This is a consistent thing with bad comedy.
I think Liam Neeson is funnier, but whatever.
I think they released both of those as clips ahead of the time, and they're both funny. And then that's the entire joke. And then the other joke is the scene where Mark Wahlberg basically gets dumped a bunch of cum on him, and that's like the entire joke of like 30 minutes of the film.
Oh, I also like that and that's the scene where he pretends to die, and then he's like, "I got you back." And Siegfried's like, "What the fuck is wrong with you, motherfucker?"
They end up at like Comic-Con fighting or something. New York Comic-Con or something. Some weird.
Is that the one they dressed up as a Ninja Turtle?
Yes.
Yeah.
This movie's great. Okay.
By the way, the answer to the question is Kunis was written out of the film because she was going to be in it, and then they were like, "We need a lawyer," because they wanted to base it on John Jake's book about the life of Dred Scott. It's like, wow, you fucking weirdos went off a cliff.
Okay,
they're like, I'm gonna make the second movie about a teddy bear, and I'm gonna base it on like slave trade, politics, and like
Before we move on for finals.
Weirdos.
The one scene I find incredibly hilarious, and I cannot explain why.
Okay,
is the one where they are running out of money, and Ted just puts on a wife beater for some fucking reason. And they start fighting like a white trash couple, and the neighbors start yelling shit. That's a great fucking scene, man. I don't care. It's just funny. It's just fucking funny. Okay.
Amy Lynn also character becomes unbearable.
Now you're gonna get fucking kicked out for the 7th time. Boom. Fuck you,
motherfucker. Bam, he's gone.
It makes no sense. This is the climax of the first 5 USQ movies.
Yes.
The fuck did you don't like it for?
I mean, I think there are some somewhat obvious reasons why this film does not work for me. They should not be the main characters. I think the movie significantly struggles when they are the main characters. Because I actually don't hate like the whole USQ verse. I actually like a decent amount of the films in it. It's just when they put two characters whose gimmick is real. That's wonderful.
Oh, thank you so much, Rose. Appreciate it.
Fucking yay!
Get some bacon. We deliver it by horse.
We do.
I just don't like Jay and Silent Bob that much. Like as just not they're not characters for me. I just don't think they're very interesting. I find them
You wanted the kids at the end of the movie, huh?
I wanted
Where they're gonna travel and kick your ass. You call them fucking clown shoes, don't you?
I'm just gonna say this right now.
Mike already has the ticket to Boston, man.
I'm just saying this right now. I could knock out Jay and Silent Bob together in about 40 seconds. It would go real bad. It would go real bad. Here's the thing. Okay, so this is people are going to get mad at me about this specific one. I like the other movies in this area. I like this other movies in this verse. I like Clerks. I like Clerks 2. I like Mallrats. I love Chasing Amy. Chasing Amy rules. This one for me is just like,
what about Dogma?
I haven't seen Dogma.
You should.
I haven't seen Dogma.
Yeah,
I have that one. I have memes. I will send it to you.
I even enjoyed like Jersey. I even enjoy the ridiculous of like Jersey Girl right now.
Do it, Garth.
Do it.
Tell him a motherfucking guy from Boston says Jay and Silent Bob suck.
It's not that I think they suck. They just shouldn't be main characters. They don't have. There's not enough to the characters.
I will agree. I will agree a little bit with you, because I think I actually think they went like a perfect balance on this one. I really like this movie, but the reboot, I think it suffers because of what you're saying, and it has less verse characters. This one has a lot of verse characters popping up all the time.
Is
and
the
I think
reboot
the reboot
coming next in this list?
And I think the reboot has a bunch of people early, and then they disappear for most of the movie, and he doesn't do that great shit in the middle, but he earns it all back in the end because I think, except for the fucking twist, which is dumb. Everything else in that scene in the last is great. I loved everything in the credits in the reboot. I thought it should be part of the movie. And the chasing Avy scene alone made me kick that movie up a star. Extra star for your ass.
Did not
My
like the
Hallie.
chasing Amy scene in the reboot because it's sad a little bit to watch how
My
some people
Hallie.
have aged versus others.
This movie. What do you think?
Yeah, I love this movie. This movie is fucking awesome, man. It is fucking a Scooby-Doo cartoon in live action form. You want to see fucking Scooby-Doo? It's this goddamn movie. It's them going on an adventure.
It's literally in the movie.
It literally is. I love the fact that the whole comic book aspect of it is Blunt Man and Chronic. They want to go find us, so they go to Ben Affleck and Holden McNeil. And one of the funniest jokes in there is he goes, okay, so we have till Friday, so we got 8 days. 4, but close. He's such an asshole to him. It's like
You know, now that you mentioned the Scooby-Doo thing, I really fucking love when they're like, they fell asleep. What the fuck are we gonna do? And then Fred sends something stupid, and the guy playing Shaggy is like, fuck you, and I hate your fucking handkerchief. Got that.
And the
Let's move
ending
on,
with
because-
Chris Rock and Jamie Kennedy, fucking hilarious.
Yeah, Chaka 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 King. Curiously enough, there's a Chaka King director now. He
Yes,
just
there
did
is.
Judas and the Black Messiah. I thought it was a joke. The guy's named Chaka King. It's insane.
Oh,
Okay.
I wish.
The next
Ultimate
one,
joke right there.
the next one, Mike. I know it's gonna hurt you a bit. I'm
Okay,
sorry,
What is it?
but he did not like the Ninjago movie.
Yeah.
It's gonna hurt me.
I think one of the biggest disagreements I have with people in general is the level to which I enjoy the Lego verse movies. The first one's good. I don't think
Yes.
it's like some of the takes I've seen about the original Lego movie are a little bit insane. No, it did not deserve Best Picture.
8.
Let's
Talk about Ninjago, man. I can
Let's-
deal with Ninjago shit. Don't mess with the other one.
No. But this leads into my point, which is that I also am not a big fan of the Lego Batman movie.
Oh goddamn!
I'm not the biggest Batman person, so the dorkiness of that entire film is lost on me. And then I don't know, like Ninjago just feels like the film that they didn't care about.
Yes, I agree with that. This is the one. This actually came out the same year as
Yeah,
the
it
Lego
is.
Batman movie.
Well, also like Lego Movie and the Lego Movie 2 and the Lego Batman movie all feel like they have actual real directors doing them, and I don't remember who directed this, but I'm pretty sure it was like somebody who did like Lego shorts. Like this feels like the high end version of like a straight to YouTube Lego production, and it's
Kinda,
not that interesting.
Before we keep going, Rose, is that the one with the white guy that was bald and had like electric powers and then he disappeared?
I think that's the movie. I'm pretty sure that's the Powder movie. Yes.
I mean, I saw it when I was 15. I don't remember most of it, and it was high.
The only problem I
Oh!
have with that movie now is the director, which
Yeah, wonderful.
yeah, it's
For the
very very
Victor
dark.
Salva, Jeepers Creepers,
Yeah.
dude.
Oh, the rapist.
Yeah, good stuff.
It kind of sucks because I like Jeepers Creepers 1. I
Yeah.
I didn't like the sequel, and then they told me like, but he raped. And I was like, okay. And I never watched
It's
that
not
one.
just that. Garth posted about it. He is a pretty just repulsive human being. That's fair. I mean,
Yeah, I do the same thing with Kevin Spacey movies,
yeah.
where I still love Usual Suspects. I still love The Ref. Give me Dennis Leary and Kevin Spacey all fucking day, man.
I'm gonna keep picking a fight with the chat in the chat. I don't really understand the Will Arnett Batman thing. I've never really understand he's not bad, but like I don't understand the people who are like Will Arnett is the best Batman. I'm a little bit confused by some of that stuff. I don't know. Ninjago just feels like the super lazy Lego was like, we're gonna do it, but we don't care.
Basically, I'm gonna give you the perfect summary for this thing.
Okay, go ahead.
They made it. They made a line of Lego usually makes their own things like Lego Chima and Lego Ninjago because they want to have properties that belong to them and they don't have to pay royalties to fucking Marvel and Star Wars all the fucking time. Yeah. So Ninjago is actually one that has lasted the longest. I think it's like 10 years old, and they had like it's 10 or 15, I'm not sure, but they actually had like a gigantic set called the Ninjago Gardens this year to celebrate their anniversary, which was actually a beautiful toy set. But they also had a TV show for Ninjago that aired on the Cartoon Network. And some people watch that show and really love it. And like it's deep, it has lore and has a lot of stuff. And then when they decided to make the movie, people thought it was going to be an extension of that. No. They decided to just make a Diet Coke version of the Ninjago story, make everything simpler and stupid. The perfect example is the Master Sensei. In the TV show, he's called Sensei Wu. In the movie, it's called Master Wu. You know? And everybody's cast
people language.
Like, it's kind of like that with every choice you can make. I like the cat bit, but they ruin it with the trailer. Everything else is pretty dumb. This is the lesser of the Lego movies. I still like it, but I haven't seen it since the first time. So, Mike, you didn't see this movie.
Yeah, I didn't see that one. So we're good.
I mean, it's the Lego movie that like.
And now we have the sequel.
Yes. I mean, the biggest crime this movie makes is it tries to steal the character of Belschnickel, which we all know that there is a one true, real Belschnickel that appears on The Office, played by the wonderful Rainn Wilson. That is the only Belschnickel that matters. And yeah.
This has got Goldie Hawn as well, you bastard. It's gone.
Yeah. 9. Fucking 9.
Honestly, it's very similar to the first movie. It does a slightly better job of making you interested in stuff outside of Kurt Russell, but it's still not for you.
Yes, Overboard is the shit.
That's correct. Impish or admirable is correct.
I haven't seen this movie.
I don't know how long it takes. It's very similar to the first one, slightly better because they just do a better job making the supporting characters.
Are the elves still creepy as shit?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they got some creepy shit with the elves in this one.
That's the one thing I don't understand of that movie. Like, the elves. Okay.
It's a Kurt Russell takeover.
They're just trying to be weird, honestly.
Weird.
He does not like piranhas, but does he like big fucking snakes? More importantly, does he like big fucking snakes fucking? Because there's like an orgy of snakes.
You guys are really digging down into like the weird shit that I've watched at one point or another.
Thank you for stopping by, Rose, and thank you for the $10. That is awesome.
Thank you. Love it.
I don't know. Is there anything to say about Anacondas beyond that? It's
a giant ball of sex. It's nice.
It's a ball of sex snakes.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fucking sci-fi film. It's goofy and stupid and ridiculous, and
it has no budget for some reason. Like they shot that like in somebody's backyard.
I don't think this even has anybody in it.
It's Lucas. Of course he watched it.
Of course we all did. I had a giant ball of snakes fucking.
I watched all the Lake Placid and Anaconda movies. I'm sorry to tell you this. It doesn't have Ice Cube.
Yeah, the first one.
This is the sequel.
Yeah,
this is the sequel that's like 6 to 8 years later. And I believe I'm looking at the biggest star of this movie is Morris Chestnut.
Morris Chestnut and I can't think of his
Morris
fucking
Chestnut
name.
That black guy that appears in movies?
You're not wrong.
Yeah, that guy.
It's basically yeah. I mean, I've never been as into Anaconda as I have been some of the other franchises. So this is a sci-fi movie that they did a sequel with. Oh, just to be clear for a second, no Ice Cube, no Voight, no J-Lo, no literally anyone.
No Owen Wilson.
It's nobody. It's like this is like I think this is 7 years later. There's no name director. There's no name actors. They just made a sequel because they had the property. And then at some point they just start going the sci-fi route with it and the Lake Placids. And gonna be honest, this is the dumbest experiment I've ever done, which was watch all the Anaconda and Lake Placid movies because they end up crossing over at one point.
Yes.
And I think, I'm not going to lie, there's legitimately might be one good movie in the entire franchise. I don't even really like it.
Is there one where the anacondas fight the alligators?
Lake Placid versus Anaconda exists. It's
yes,
legitimately the worst one in the entire franchise.
It's the one I want to watch, though.
Hey, we got to do an It Came from the Video Store on that fucking movie. Let's put that out.
Here's the problem, though. By the time they do the crossover, both movies are down to like $250,000 budgets on like sci-fi films. So the CGI and the fights are atrocious. Like, it would have been fun if they did it right after the first one, so they had at least some clout. But they waited years. Like, I think Lake Placid vs. Anaconda comes out in 2015. Which is 18 years after Anaconda and 16 years after Lake Placid. These franchises were not relevant anymore.
You know what's weird? Betty White's still alive.
I don't think Betty White's in any more. She's in like the first movie. I'm surprised they didn't keep Betty White coming back.
And the movie's fucking 16 years old.
I love Lake Placid is great.
21 years. How old is Betty White?
Like something 90 plus.
Yeah, she's definitely 90 plus.
Mike Hanley.
I love Lake Placid. I don't really like any of the Anacondas. Even the original, not the biggest fan.
I thought Maurice Chestnut was the guy that played Jax in Annihilation, and he's not.
No, that's not him.
Yeah,
this movie, is terrible. I love the first Anaconda. I love the first Lake Placid. The rest, damn.
It is legitimately impressive how quickly they fell off a cliff with a really basic, simple premise that should have worked better.
Actually, that happens a lot.
Holy shit, she's 99 years old. Damn. Good shit right there.
She's gonna live like 150 years old.
Probably. If anybody can do it,
all I gotta say for you now is you don't like dinosaurs, man. I think this Drew guy is gonna be pissed at you.
I'm fine with that. Yeah, I mean, we already talked about this in the first one. This is like the second one is weird. The first one is just boring and generic. Like, it's fun. It's a fun 2.5-star movie. Like, it's certainly not. I don't think it's good, but it's like fun in that it's just stupid, dumb stuff. Again, this goes back to the frustration I have with the entire franchise. Why would you cast Chris Pratt and then be like, don't ever be funny or interesting? Like, if we could have, you could have, like, the frustrating thing is, like, you cast Chris Pratt, so then you have this ability to do all this stuff, but instead you let him do no funny stuff, nothing interesting, and you could have cast literally Sam Warrington in this role. Like, that's just generic action lead.
That's a name that hasn't been heard since Avatar.
Yeah. Bryce Dallas Howard, pretty bad in this. The kids are terrible. Like, the kids are, like, I genuinely, one of the weirdest things to me is Nick Robinson's career. He plays the older brother. Yeah. He's really good in The Kings of Summer. And then he's like ass and everything else. And I'm genuinely confused at what happened to his career. And the best character in this entire movie is Jake Johnson's, like, techie
Jake Johnson is,
and he didn't bring him for the sequel.
I know.
I think he's in like I think he might be in a second of the sequel. We sure he's not in the sequel?
No, I don't think he's in the sequel.
I thought he was in the sequel for a second. Maybe I'm wrong. Jake Johnson's the best character, and that kind of tells you everything you need to know if the best character in your movie is the, like, sixth supporting character tech dude.
Hey, he's got the vintage shirt on, man.
I like Jake Johnson. I just wish that you could have had so much of a better lead. Like, think how much
he's actually in the Lego Jurassic World in Dominus Escape movie. And you know where else he's gonna be? Jurassic World Dominion.
Goddamn right he is.
Boom.
Do we think that movie is going to be any good?
Yes.
Hey, it's got the original stars in it. Fuck you, Lucas.
It's not that I doubt them. It's that I doubt the people they're putting around them.
Well, Mike, to be fair, you hate Jurassic Park 3, and that also has Sam Neill and a lot of
not the same fucking character. I will stand by that shit. He's not fucking Alan Grant.
Okay, we dig enough shit on the fucking dinosaurs. Let's dig deeper on this one. Nah, I'm kidding. It's not worth it.
Honestly, it went up on rewatch. It went up on rewatch when I watched the Ultimate Cut.
2.5.
It was at like 1, or I hated it. I hated that movie the first time. Like, I absolutely hated that film the first time.
Are you trying to
Jesus.
purposely hurt me today?
No, we just have very different taste in movies.
Because this is my favorite Wes Anderson movie.
We literally talked about this when we did the ranking of this. I don't like this movie. I think it's a mess. I don't think it's not the worst Wes Anderson film, but certainly not near the best. I don't have any big takes in this film. It's
Spanking the Monkey was better for life.
That's
Even though I
correct.
watched it, and Jesus Christ, I shouldn't have watched it.
Yeah, see, you did the. I just did the joke. You actually did the full commitment. You went full Daniel Day-Lewis.
I will say, did you ever hear about that movie, Lucas?
Spanking the Monkey before?
Yeah.
No.
He fucks his mother in the movie. That's all you need to know. It's fucking disturbing.
I sent it to you, Lucas. You should have watched it. It would have been a surprise.
I've been so busy recently.
And we tried to get that to be number one. Thank God it didn't make it to number one after I watched that
You
shit.
mom screwing motherfuckers.
Yeah, we kind of want to.
Why?
Yeah, I don't like the sequel.
You know, Paul Yama thinks this is better than the original.
I know. Paul and I have had several discussions about this. Yeah, I think this movie is just uninteresting. Like it, I think the first one is at least there feels like a focus. There feels like a direction. I think it's a interesting and unique idea, but I also think it stays within the bounds of what you expect Lego to be. And I think the second one just jumps the shark essentially. Like I think it goes so wacky and crazy that
They made it a musical, but it's a good musical.
I was so bored by this movie. Like I don't think it's terrible. It's got enjoyable moments, but I was bored by a lot of it. Yeah, it's a real step down.
They did something that I didn't understand. Like, there's the thing. Like,
not true, Dark. Not true, Dark.
I think the sweet spot. I think the sweet spot for a sequel is 3 years, because if you do it too quickly, usually you get the same movie again, which is what usually happens with shit like The Hangover too. And people just want to do the same movie again and change something, and then like, haha, it's a new movie. But if you wait too long, the problem is that you kind of go through too many ideas and you probably don't pick up the best one. I think it happened to Frozen too. That movie is really kind of a mess. It's an interesting mess, but it's a mess. And I think a Lego Movie 2 also waiting 5 fucking years after the first one was a success ended up being a disappointment in the box office, first of all. And second, they had to adapt the fucking story because they waited too long. They had the perfect setup for the sequel at the end of the first one with the duplicate things. You know why they had the duplicate things? Because the sister was a little girl. So if you wait 5 fucking years, she's no longer a little girl. She's like a tweener or something. So they had to change the whole thing into like the Lego Friends thing, which is the girl thing, and then you had to like make an abrupt cut after the Duplo thing, and it doesn't feel like it flows. But other than that, this movie is perfect, and you're fucking wrong. Mike Hanley.
I'm fine with this.
Lego Movie 2.
I've seen it. I've seen it once. I think it's a pretty good fucking movie. I don't hate it. I don't love it. It's one of those that I put on and went, yeah, I can enjoy it.
I used this movie for a deep cuts.
Yes, you did.
Onto. And they asked me really, really weird things from it. And
you picked the wrong movie to use for a deep cut.
Fair. We're gonna keep this fucking train Lucas wanna fuck with Nazario train going, because what the fuck is wrong with you?
Oh, what the, Jesus fucking Christ, where is it? Bam, I'll do it for you. Fuck you. Ghostbusters.
Time. Dude, why do you hate fun?
I am not a Ghostbusters person. I'm just gonna be honest.
Why do you hate fun?
It's not my franchise. It's been so long. I also put it in a tough position because I don't like this movie, but it has been so long since I saw it. I watched the two of them together. I think the first one is okay to good, and I think the second one is kind of a mess and doesn't really work. It's
the first
sort
one
of fun,
is the best movie ever made.
Yeah, I don't agree. I don't agree with that.
And not only are you fucking with Ghostbusters, you're fucking with He-Man in Ghostbusters 2.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I didn't even check if he had seen Masters of the Universe, the movie.
I haven't. This is another. I don't know. I don't necessarily understand the whole Ghostbusters phenomenon. I think that is a little bit of a generation behind me.
It's 4 guys who form a team to wear cool-looking jumpsuit with cool weapons to fucking kill ghosts. It's a thing.
How could you not love the shit out of that?
I probably deserve. I'll give you this. I probably deserve a rewatch of Ghostbusters and Ghostbusters 2 because I legitimately think it has been 5 to 6 years since I saw it.
Watch the first one,
Yes.
then the second one,
Yes.
Mhm.
then the cartoon,
I'm not watching a cartoon. I refuse to watch cartoons.
then the cartoon sequel, Extreme Ghostbusters.
I
Right
did this.
there. Fucking great ending.
I did this with the King Kong movies. I watched them all, and I skipped all the cartoons. Like I'm not watching.
Then watch the 2016 one
I don't like that one
because you have to do the whole thing, and then you can go watch Afterlife.
Okay. Well, when Afterlife ever comes out, we'll see that.
Mike Hanley, what do you think about Ghostbusters?
This, when we did the top 100, I had Gremlins 2 or Ghostbusters 2, and I had to choose one of them. And I chose Gremlins 2. But I love the shit out of Ghostbusters 2. I think it's fucking great. I do not care for the 2016 version at all. But I love me some Ghostbusters 1 and 2. All of them are fucking fantastic. You got the dancing toaster in this movie. How could you not love the shit out of that?
When we did the first confidential
You got
top
Vigo,
100,
the Carpathian.
when we had the confidential top 100, this was my number 100.
Yes.
But I don't remember which movie was that I left out. It was either RoboCop or The Fly or Clue or some shit
Can
like
you give me
that.
shit about RoboCop again? You doing a little dig there, you son of a bitch?
And then
Wait, what's going on with
put it
RoboCop?
in.
I fucked up, and when I went to move movies around, I totally forgot to put RoboCop back in.
Oh,
And it totally fucked me over.
because RoboCop is awesome.
Oh, yeah, dude. It is in my top 20 of all time. I fucked that shit up really.
The next one is a Best Picture nominee film
Yeah,
that you have at 2.5.
God
I'm gonna
damn,
be
bro.
honest. I'm gonna be honest. I haven't seen this in forever. I don't necessarily believe this rating is accurate. I probably should rewatch it at some point, and I will whenever I get to the blank check.
Right.
George
when
Miller
you're saying
winner.
that the rating's not accurate, which way is it not accurate? I think that's a question to ask here.
I think I would probably. I don't understand why. I don't know. I would guess it would probably get more positive.
Okay.
I would guess it would get more positive. It's been so long. This is one of those ones that like I'm waiting for the George Miller
I think
blank
this
check
one,
marathon to rewatch.
I think this
George
one
Miller.
is. I think this one is about 4 stars for me. Like I don't think it's perfect.
Yeah, I can't defend this one. I generally don't remember. I don't remember the reason I gave it such a low rating.
Mad Max movies. Fuck yeah.
And the sequel though, that one's perfect. Mike, have you seen Babe, the original?
Yes, I have. And I enjoy it. I enjoy the shit out of Babe. Babe is so much fun. But I do think that the sequel is better.
I do appreciate how
Hell
you guys
yeah,
have
motherfucker.
somehow figured out.
You bar, if you're still here,
Pulled all
hey,
my
fucking Babe, Pig City.
pulled all my ratings from like 6 years ago.
Hey, I mean, fair.
No, this is funny. This is like consistently. I'm like being forced to
Now you're
defend.
getting
Like,
kicked up again. Why?
Fucking Rage Cage, motherfucker. Southern accent, long hair, Cage. And John Malkovich. Anybody moves, the bunny gets it. How could you not fucking love that shit? Explain
Put
yourself.
the bunny down.
I mean, there's a much better Nicolas Cage movie from this year that is way more fun and way better than Con Air, and that movie is Face Off, and Face Off is
Both
awesome.
of them are fucking great. You hold your fucking tongue, sir.
Con Air it's so stupid. It gets too stupid even for me. I like Face Off, and Con Air was just like it was asking too much of me when I was watching it to buy into the ridiculousnous to the point where I genuinely just like checked out because it jumped the shark a little for me. Face Off, much better. Please watch Face Off, everyone.
Steve Buscemi as a serial killer.
John Cusack is also in The Rock, right?
Huh?
Is John Cusack also in The Rock?
No, I don't believe so.
I thought he was in The Rock.
Trivia
know
champions right here.
All right.
This movie
Coming to this year. Hollywood, Blockbuster, one of those motherfuckers are winning something, goddammit.
Somebody's fucking winning. I don't know who it is.
I mean, you guys wrote the book on cheating. You now just need to use the law knowledge you've learned.
But we don't because we have,
Wow, Mike just got 7 perfect rounds in a row.
This actually is pretty fun. I actually think this stretch of 90s cheese with Cage was actually pretty fucking great. Except Gone in 60 Seconds. I don't know. That one didn't work for me. I
Yeah,
only
I
also
enjoy
watched,
it. It's fucking stupid, but I enjoy it.
I
They're
watched
very
it
hit or miss
one time.
movies.
That is one of the few that I only watched once, and I was like, yeah, I'm done. I had enough. Okay. So the last one with a negative
There it
review.
is. There it is. I have to constantly tell your fucking ass to keep your fucking hands on screen.
That is actually true. But this is the thing. The table is high. What am I gonna do? This shit?
Just hold your board up the entire time like I do.
Buy handcuffs. Buy handcuffs and wear them during the match.
This is the last one I have at 2.5. I do have a couple of 3-star ones because we like to end up on a positive note, right?
Yeah.
This
So
is just
Anaconda.
it's just this is the weird anomaly. This is the one weird big killer animal movie that doesn't work for me. I think part
This
of this
one has Ice Cube though.
And it's got John Voight winking after coming
And
out of an
J-Lo.
anaconda.
John Voight is on something in this film. That accent came from somewhere, and I don't think it was.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a foreign country. And this is the one that just doesn't work for me, and it should work for me considering the cast and crew. It's just the one that for me, it never clicks in the way that I want the other fun ones of the same era. Like I don't get the enjoyment out of it that I do out of Lake Placid or Deep Blue Sea or something. It's just I don't know. This is like sometimes I don't really have a good explanation of why this doesn't work for me. I gave it 2.5 stars because there are parts of it I enjoy, but the film doesn't click for me as a whole. It's just the one big killer animal one that just doesn't 100% get there for me.
I think this movie's fine. Is a movie that I went to the theater to watch when I was 17 years old, and I was like, "Huh, I have seen everything else in this thing, but I haven't seen Anaconda. Sounds stupid. Let's see what happens." And then I was like, "Oh, that's Ice Cube. Oh, that's John Voight." And then I was like, "Oh, that's the girl from that, Serena movie." Because I didn't know who J-Lo was at that time, except for was it Serena? What was the name of that singer?
Selena?
Selena. Selena. I do not like her music.
I just like the idea of you sitting in the theater as a 17-year-old going, man, John Voight.
Yeah, because this is the thing, and I know it must be a completely alien experience for you guys. Latin America releases do not work the way in America they do. You have a release date, you have trailers, you have posters that let you fucking know shit is coming, right? We get random movies every Friday. It's like a fucking lottery. Like when it was Friday, you get excited because there's something new in the theater. Now it's Thursdays. It used to be Fridays. I bought the paper. I had a fucking newspaper. I went to the fucking theater section. I'm like, oh, fucking Batman. Yes. Because that's how it worked. We had no set release dates. And sometimes movies got big like way later. Like the movie releases, it got huge, and they never released it here because why? The international distributors just said like, "What the fuck is this? This is not gonna make any money," and they don't buy it. So, for example, when I watched the 1996 MTV Movie Awards, and everybody was raving like a motherfucker for Scream, and they won Best Picture in MTV. I was like, "What is that movie? I have never heard of that movie." And then, no joke, the week later, movie Scream was in theaters. I was like, "Huh, I'm gonna get to watch that movie. That's cool." And the week after that, Scream 2 was in theaters. I'm not joking. They released Scream just so they could release Scream 2 the next weekend.
I must have roast.
And it's always been like that. We used, and the sad thing about it is, I used to like have they put a website like 4 years ago called Fandango. I assume you have it too.
Yeah,
we do.
It was Fandango Latin America, and they put like release dates per country, and it started getting some fucking shape because when movies started becoming only comic book movies, everything was comic book, everything started to get bigger. We started actually getting some fucking release dates. Just for those though, just the blockbusters, not the good shit with the drama, just the blockbusters. But we still had Fandango, and it was kind of a guide. And sometimes Fandango said like it's gonna go on May the 15th, and then the May 15th they didn't put it. And I was like, what the fuck? And you check Fandango, it said like now it's May 22nd. But it wasn't perfect, but it was an idea. Sad thing, when the theaters reopened in October last year, I went to Fandango Latin America. They closed the website down because of COVID.
Damn.
Wow.
I'm
That's
back
rough.
to the dark ages. I'm back to not knowing shit. I hate it. Mike Hanley, you like big snakes that don't have sex in a giant ball?
Oh yeah, I enjoy the shit out of this movie. This is my fucking movie right here. It's so much random fucking craziness that happens in this movie. I love it. Danny Trejo, his very small role in this is fucking hilarious. It's just John Voight and this is John Voight movie all the way. And you can screw everyone else in this, but fucking have just John Voight show up. It's so fucking much insanity, and the effects in the Anaconda still fucking hold up. That is a fucking cool goddamn snake.
Is it?
Yeah, actually, it works out pretty well.
Is it, Mike?
Yes, it's a great fucking movie.
Now I do have something to bitch a bit about.
Oh God.
Uh-oh.
What do you got?
You didn't like Life Aquatic,
I did
Ghostbusters 2,
I do not.
Babe, the Lego Movie. None of that shit.
You have very different tastes, I think is what we've learned throughout this episode.
But you gave 3 stars to this shit.
Yeah. Are you criticizing, is this too high or too low?
It should be lower than all the other movies that I mentioned, but it is still kind of low.
I don't know. I feel like this is such a 3 stars for me is kind of a cop out in some level because I don't like this movie particularly, and I sort of like. It's hard to ignore the fact that it is well done. The components of the film are done, even if I don't necessarily like the story or like the character. I think the audition song with Emma Stone is actually good. That's the one song I like in the film.
I like that one.
I like
the one in the highway too.
That's not terrible. I don't know. This film is just like I feel like probably if I was to rewatch it, I might go lower just because I don't think I like the film. It's one of the 2 Best Picture nominees that year. I generally didn't like, and yeah.
What's the other one?
Hacksaw Ridge.
Yeah, that movie sucks.
Hacksaw Ridge is a great 40 minutes at the end, which is preceded by an hour and 20 minutes of absolute garbage.
I actually agree on that. Damn.
The Hugo Weaving Andrew Garfield stuff with like the father and son, that stuff is that's like Lifetime movie bullshit that they put in a major motion picture. And I think people 100% their take on that movie is just completely colored by the fact that you end the movie off the really cool battle sequence where Garfield rescues a bunch of people.
Remember when they did YLS on war movies and somebody put this in the top 10?
Oh, yes, I was on that episode. People also put like Tropic Thunder, which is not a war movie, in the top 10 of war movies, but it's literally a movie. It's like a joke movie.
I agree. It's not a war movie,
like
but it's still a great fucking movie.
I enjoy it more than I enjoy Hacksaw Ridge or La La Land.
You like jazz, Mike Hanley?
I think it's a pretty good fucking movie. Again, it's the musicals I'm very, very hit and miss with. This is a pretty good fucking movie. I need to rewatch it. It could go down. It could go up. It could stay the fucking same. I don't know. I just got to give it a rewatch.
I mean, shout out to the TV show Big Mouth, which in one of the episodes they do the Duke Ellington like flashback, and one of the kids, the white kids, tried to explain jazz to him, and he literally goes, "Are you la la landing me, son?"
Yes.
It's a good moment. It's a good moment.
Okay, the next one you also gave 3 stars to.
All right.
So I'm gonna give you a slow clap. People give a lot of shit to this movie. I don't know why.
Penguins.
Dancing fucking penguins.
I don't have any particularly nuanced takes. It's been super long. It's a fun movie. Why do we hate it?
I don't know.
I like those the Mexican penguins. They're funny accents.
I put this one in the top 10 animated movies of the 2010s, and Cody gave me so much shit.
That may be a little high. If we're being honest.
It was number 10 though.
Still a little high, but that's fair.
Mike Hanley, have you seen the Dancing Penguins?
Oh yeah, I enjoy this movie. I enjoy both of them, man. I love me some Happy Feet. Happy Feet's fun. There's nothing there's nothing deep you need to go into it. It's just a fun fucking movie. It's a fun time.
I love how they flip it in the sequel. Like,
hey, penguin animated movies always work. Surfs Up.
The surfing one was great.
Surfs Up. Penguins of Madagascar. Happy Feet. Always fun.
Have you seen the sequel to Surfs Up?
No, I'm not.
No.
Apparently, WWE bought it and they put a bunch of wrestlers in the movie. I haven't seen it.
You know, I think I've seen the cover to that at one point.
Wave Mania? Yes.
I'm gonna download that.
John
God
Cena.
damn.
Before
Vince McMahon
Paddington.
is in it. Vince McMahon is in it playing himself.
Jesus.
I'm gonna watch that before Paddington to piss you
They
off.
put the Undertaker in an anime. This is, God, y'all are fucking weird.
The final movie we were going to talk about today was also given 3 stars.
Okay.
So positive
So-
no. Okay.
It's gonna be like, sorry, like it's too low.
It's the Lost World Jurassic.
Okay.
You gave it positive. I can't hate you for it. You are one of the motherfuckers that gave it positive. You safe.
Yeah.
You're safe.
Yeah.
Explain yourself, sir.
So, well, obviously, the problem with any
Yeah, he
Jurassic
probably
Park
does.
movies is they're not as good as the original. I actually don't like this one. For me, works. It definitely is always weird watching the sequels because they never 100% feel like a product of the same people. Like this doesn't really.
The magic isn't there
Yeah.
like it is in the first one. I will give you that.
I mean, I will say the scene in like the truck when they're dangling up the cliff is actually probably the best action sequence that occurs outside of the original film.
Oh yeah.
This one at least somewhat works. Like it also at least like they're trying to do a Jurassic Park movie. The Jurassic World 2 feel like they're a really dumbed down version of the original concept. Jurassic Park 3 feels like a really slimmed down version. They were like, let's cut anything out of it that's not 100% essential. And part of like the enjoyment of the original film is that it's more than an action film. It's not just a dinosaur movie. It's not just an action movie. They add more character beats. They add more stuff into it to put interesting characters, to have family dynamics. And I feel like this is the film that most closely captures that. And honestly, I enjoyed watching it on rewatch. Like I rewatched this a while ago. I don't think I liked it the first time, but I did like it the second time. The stuff with the main 3 works. It's not necessarily exactly the same. It's not as good as you miss Neil, but like, and you miss Stern, but like at least get somewhat close to it. So as in,
Jeff Goldblum's a shit.
yeah, I like Goldblum.
No.
I mean, I also am like, I think this falls into a category where like I am somewhat forgiving of the sequel that feels like a continuation of the first one, even if it's roughly the same film. Like I like Halloween 2. I enjoy what Hangover 2 is. Like
Didn't you just shit on Halloween too?
No, that's the different Halloween 2. I like the the Rick Rosenthal Halloween 2. I'm a fan of that one. Yeah, so this falls kind of in the same category where it's just like if you like the first film and you give it an opportunity to go back and experience the closest thing to the first film, then I will enjoy it in that respect. It's like the second best in the franchise for that reason.
I love that Hanley is like, yeah, you get a good review, it's fair. He doesn't have the magic and shit. Motherfucker has this at 5 stars.
Do you really?
I love the shit out of this movie. This is my top 100, motherfucker. I love the shit out of this movie. But you gave it positive, so I give you a pass because most people don't even give it a goddamn positive.
I like 3 better. But
Fuck
that's
you,
just
motherfucker. Kick your ass off this call, too. Fuck you. Boom. Give me fucking Jurassic Park 3 bullshit.
That's it, guys.
Yes.
We spent 2 hours with our friend Lucas Schildbach from the Lucas and Stat podcast.
Yes.
Watch it.
Listen to it. It's
You
fucking
can watch
great.
it on this channel. You just want to hear their voice. You can go to the fucking audio podcast thingies. I don't know.
All the places. All the places.
Spotify.
Spotify, Overcast, Pocket Casts, Apple Podcasts. We're everywhere you need to get us. I think we're on like 8 different platforms currently.
I love the fact that we all like we kept different shows and we keep making these things and it's always talking about fucking movies.
Yeah, that's what happens. Yeah, we just dropped a review last night of Tom Clancy's Without Remorse. That just dropped last night. The new Michael B. Jordan movie.
Is that in theaters or is that like streaming?
It's on Prime right now. I don't know if it's in
Yeah,
theaters.
it's on Amazon Prime. Yeah, I gotta watch that so I can listen to your shit.
Yeah, we got a spoiler section. We got a non-spoiler section at the beginning. So if you want to get a basic idea of if it's worth watching, you can jump into the beginning. And then if you want to stick around for the whole thing, find out our deeper thoughts about it, you can stick around.
Boom.
Fair.
Like it.
So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching.
Yes.
It's been a fun 2 hours. Actually, it felt shorter than Great Fucking Movies with Boatman. and that one was shorter. I think we actually enjoy talking about bad movies. I think that's the fucking problem. Okay. We don't have any music, so we just shake it. And
Just follow us on Twitch, people. We got some
hit that
good
Twitch
shit
button.
coming.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Well,
see you on the next episode.
Sorry, definitely has remorse about having me on this episode, but because he hated all my takes.
MRank 100.
Yes, it's coming very soon.
Bye, guys.